Hey, what's happening, guys? Today we're going to put together this board. This is like my ultimate experimenter's board for Arduino Nano. And I made this as a request for my friend Joey in Canada. But these are going to be available as kits. They are going to be about twice the price of the last kit because you're getting an Arduino Nano, an OLED, and a rotary encoder, along with 4 switches, some resistors and some headers and stuff like that. But yeah, that's going to make it just a wee bit more expensive. But yeah, this looks pretty good. So we're going to put it in the solder stand, get ready, and solder it all together. So before we start soldering, let's take another look at some of the parts here. Sorry for the glare. You see over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 resistors. We have 1, 2, 3 that are 10K. Those are our pull-up resistors. And the rest are 470 ohms, which are current limiting for our LEDs here. Now up here, you see we have a NPN transistor crude drawing. And there's a spot for our transistor. Then this says NPN insert and NPN jumper. So when this jumper is in, when you short that jumper, those jumper pins across, what's going to happen is you're going to bring that NPN transistor into the circuit. And up here where it says insert is where you're going to put your signal. So that goes right there. Now all down here we have a little experimenters area where we're going to put in some headers, be like a little mini breadboard. We have our analog pins pulled off here, our digital pins pulled off here. That's an empty pin. We have a reset switch, and we have 3 other switches. You see it says D2 pull up, D4 pull up, and D7 pull up. So all these switches are pulled up. When you press them, they will go to ground. We have a spot for a rotary encoder, a buzzer, and then we also have an enable jumper for the buzzer. We don't want that, going off if it doesn't have to. Power, and our OLED. So those are the parts that we're working with. I think when we put this together, we might have a halfway decent board.
This video is brought to you by PCBWay. Right now, they are having their Christmas Festival 2021. You get Christmas coupons, special orders, lucky draw. Let's see what some of these things are. Yeah, there's coupons. $5 off orders of $30 or more. $10 off of $59, $15. I mean, it goes way up there. If you order more than $3,000, they'll give you $200 off. But remember, getting started with a PCB order only costs you $5. PCBWay.
All right, we're about ready to get started soldering here, and today we'll be trying out the infamous blue tack when we need it. We're going to start out with some resistors, the 470 ohm ones. So got some here. Get them out and get them in and get it soldered up, right? All right, we got our 470s in. Let's grab some of this famous blue tack here, which I have never played with in my life. But I am familiar with it. I've seen it. Oop, piece of plastic stuck to me. Static electricity. So hopefully what I can do, just kind of push that down like so. Yeah, how about that? That was not quite where I wanted, but that'll be fine. And now, yes indeed, now I should be able to solder this up real nice. Get some light on the subject. You don't want that. Looks terrible. Get these guys soldered in here. Here we go. Well, first let's so add a little bit of Rob's Flux to these. I've already tested it. I haven't tasted it. I've tested it, and it worked out very well. So, good job, Rob. People seem to be interested in your flux. Could be a marketing opportunity there. Uncle Rob's Magic Flux. Guaranteed to make your solder joints better, faster, stronger. Alright, so there we go. Our 470s are all in. And that works really well. All right, let's put our 10Ks in. There's only 3 of those. One for each of our buttons. Those are our pull-up resistors, of course. They will keep the input pin from floating around. You see, on the Arduino, if nothing is attached to a pin, its value could be anywhere. Well, anywhere between, 0 and just about 5 volts. So what you do is you tie it either high or low with a pull-up or a pull-down resistor. That way you know the position of the pin, or the state of the pin rather, regardless of whether or not it's attached. And then, like in the case of the button, once you press it, it will either, once you press it, it will go from high to low in this case. But if you set a pull down resistor, it could go from low to high. And it's just a good solid way of handling things with the Arduino, so that the switch or whatever input you're using is always in a known position, as opposed to an unknown position, which could cause strange things. But you're saying, yeah, well, it's probably never going to jump from 0 to 5 or 5 to 0. Yeah, probably won't. But the way switches are read, it's not an absolute. There's a range. And if they're in that range, then it's going to read that input as changing states. And that's why we do that. Alright, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 LEDs. One moment, please. Alright, so we got our LEDs. So I want to make sure you match up the flat side of the LED, or the short leg, the cathode, with the flat side of the footprint. That should be good. So we'll do a red, yellow, green, in case you want to do a little stoplight thing there. Then we'll put in a blue one. I missed the label on that one there. We're going to put in 2 white ones. Yeah, I could squeeze a bunch of blue tack in there, but for this, I'm just going to go back to my old ways for a second. It's a little bit of tape. And then we're only going to solder one pin on each of them. That way we can kind of float them into place. You'll see what I mean by that in a second. Okay, see how they're not all nice and level and everything. See? So what I can do now is just take the hot iron on the pin I soldered, heat it up, and put them into place. Really simple. Then when I go back, I solder the other leg. I give this one a quick reflow. And everything should be sitting smooth and flat. And that one already was. So there's how it looks now. Put it back in here. And we'll get the other leg soldered in. Why do I touch the solder to the iron right before I solder? It just tins the end of the iron. Just a tiny little coating. And the solder conducts heat much, much better than the iron itself. So by tinning the tip, you're just improving the transfer speed. And the less time you have on, the less dwell you have on your part, well, then the less heat damage they're going to take. All right, I'm going to solder in the power jack next. And the reason I want to do it next is I want to see how it works with the blue tack. I'm sure it'll work just absolutely fine. But I'm experimenting here, you know what I'm saying? And get her right up and even like that. Probably even bring down the camera for you. Give you a nice tight view when I get in there and solder that. There we go. Now the camera is blocking my view, so I am soldering through the screen, which is very interesting. Come on, heat her up, baby. Heat her up. All right. Let's have a look. We'll need way more solder. Yeah, that position just wasn't a good position for me to solder in. So there's a little touch for transfer. Now we just flow her in. There we go. I want those holes covered, saturated. Like a 60-year-old uncle after Thanksgiving dinner. No room for anything else. Good. Well, hey, blue tack gets hot. How about that? All right, so our board. Whoop, come on down. Come on down. Yeah, looking pretty good there. I am happy with it. All right, so next up we're going to put together this little mini breadboard area. And I realized I've made a mistake here. I put the labels on the top side. The labels should be down here. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows is our experimenting area. And then this bottom row is half VCC and half ground. But we can fix that. That won't be too much of a problem. So we got to cut some of these female headers. Make sure I get the right size. Nope, one over. There we go. Let me cut some of these up. Now they should just drop right in. Assuming I did everything right. That one's one too long. Oh, are you kidding me? Did I make it one too short now? No, we're all right. Oh, I guess I cut them all one too long. My bad. We'll get these in here and get to moving along. Oh, that one I definitely cut too short. Shoot. Attention to detail. One moment. All right, there we go. Let's see how the blue tack works for holding these guys together. Wow. Pretty doggone good. That's impressive. All right, let me solder these in here. Sorry about the glare. Just going to solder one pin at a time on each one. And then we can come back and make sure they're all sitting pretty. You gotta, next to the last one there is kind of not right. There we go. Much better. Now what I'm going to do is solder the opposite end. And then come back and basically do the same thing. So I can kind of squeeze them in. Get a little pop. That means they're all sitting there nice and flush. All right. Now we can solder them up. This is going to take a while. You probably don't want to watch me do this, so I'll be back. All right, let's do our switches next. I'm going to put in a short switch for the reset. And then these tall 12 millimeter ones for the action buttons. You can see the difference in the button heights there. So hopefully somebody won't accidentally hit. reset button when they meant to hit one of the action buttons. Yeah. Oops, sorry about that. Hate when that happens. Those buttons are definitely soaking up some heat. So I'm trying to be as quick as I can. You don't want to burn anything. So I also got a question in the comments a week or so ago about what temperature did I run my soldering iron. Generally run it at 350C. But if something's going to soak up a lot of heat, that KSGR T12 soldering iron has a boost mode where you just give the knob a quick spin and it will jump up to 400 degrees Celsius for a short period of time. And that works out really well for me. Alright, next up is our transistor. Any NPN transistor will be fine. I'm using the 3904. Because that's what I got on hand at the moment. I mean, I got other ones on hand. It's just like, that's the first one I grabbed. I have to create a new footprint for these. These holes are incredibly small. Well, I mean, they're the right size, but it's the spacing that makes them difficult to deal with. That's in there good. So one thing that can help, and that's probably kind of hard for you guys to see. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Come on, zoom in. There we go. Yeah, right there. A little bit of flux can help keep the solder flowing from where you don't want it to flow. And of course, clean tip always makes a difference. Come on, get in there. Get it. See, I'm so close to the camera, I'm hitting the doggone thing. I'm sorry about that. All right. See how that looks. All right, there does not appear to be a bridge there, but I'll have to put on some goggles just to be sure. All right, so now we need some sets of these little 2-pin headers here. And yes, I am definitely liking the blue tack. Stuff works great. So like I said, again, these are going to be available as kits. If you are interested, just send me an email to arduino0169@gmail.com and we can get one out to you. Again, for right now, it's got to be US shipping only. I hope the USPS smartens up and, makes a reasonable price for overseas shipping again, because right now it would almost cost me more than the kit to send it to you. And that is just absolutely ridiculous. You should be able to put this in an envelope, piece of cardboard on the bottom, little padding, all your components in there, and it should be good to go for, $10, $12, not $35. That's insane. All right, so now we should be able to plug everything in. Help if I put them in the right spots, huh? What am I missing? Oh yeah, the buzzer. Oh, sorry. Man, I got the bumps today there, don't I? Just gotta get this fitted right here. And we'll get it in. That should be it. Nabbit. Still gotta be just a little bit tighter. There we go. And she's done. Now we just need to write some code to test it out. All right, so we got it all put together here, and I wrote a little bit of code just to test it. And how well you can see that, it says, "Hi YouTube." We have some lights. These ones go up and down. These ones blink. This one is super bright. A reset button. And every one of these kits that I ship out will have this demonstration code on there so that you know what to do, or you know what it's doing, or you know, however you want to put it. Yeah. Cover that so you can see the little sequential thing that goes on here. Looks pretty good. So I'm happy with it. I hope you guys like it. And if you did like it, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Big thanks to PCBWay. Without them, I wouldn't be able to make videos like this. One thing before I go, you'll notice there is some space underneath the rotary encoder and the OLED. B-Blood down in Florida, when I made him the rocket launcher board, he says he put a little bit of foam under there, and that should help keep things, you know, a little more steady and solid. All right. If you guys have anything else, feel free to post it down below. That's it. I'm out. Peace.